Hello, everyone, and welcome to another reading from the Green Tambourine Tarot. I hope you have enjoyed your week thus far. I have a timeless reading. This is going to be about what's going to happen in your life in the next year. This is a prediction in your personal relationships. So really, this is a love reading. This is a reading for the collective. If you would like a more detailed reading, then you feel free to select any of the links in my description box, and you can get your own personalized reading that way. I will also have, for those who are members, in our membership group, we actually have a membership that you can get, daily readings or request different things that are outside of YouTube. So if you decide to do that, then that's great. And I will put that box in there below. Please put in the comment section if you want access to that membership group, and I will send you the link for that. Okay. All right. So we are going to, with that being said, we are going to talk about your coming year in your personal relationships. This is someone who you have a specific relationship with. What I would like for you to do is set your intentions on that specific person. If you don't have a specific person, then I would encourage you to set your intention on the universe bringing you, or God bringing you your divine right person, if that is what you're seeking. If your personal relationship has to deal with business, then this may or may not be the reading for you, because this is a love reading. But for some of you, this may or may not resonate, but I am going to go ahead and, do this with you guys, and because I felt led to do it. So, all right. So this is not a typical Green Tambourine reading, but we are going to go all in. So let's begin with pile number one. If you've chosen pile number one, this would be wisdom. And this is the blue argonite. For those of you, pile number two, this is rose with joy. And that is the lepidolite. And let me actually share with you what these crystals actually are there for. Balanced energy and motivation is what the blue aventurine, I said blue, I don't know what I called it first, but it's the blue aventurine. I know green aventurine, and this is the blue aventurine here. And it is white pine with wisdom. If you relate to pile number two, or if you're called to pile number two, or a couple of piles, this is the rose card with joy, and the crystal for this is lepidolite, excuse me, and it activates intellect and hope. And that's funny, it actually has some rose coloring in there, which I thought was actually, it's so funny how the divine has everything fall out into place. The third pile, number three, is daffodil with perception. And that is the argonite, which is a crystal that brings insight and helps in meditation, or helps in meditation. And finally, we have the echinacea with consciousness. And this is the clear quartz, which is purification and harmonizing energy. So if you resonate with either pile 1, 2, 3, or 4, let's see what your love life or your personal relationship with your intended divine is going to be like, or who you have your, when I say your intended divine, the person that you have your intention set on. And if this is not, the spirit is sharing with me, if this is not your divine right person, then this probably actually will not work for you. So my advice from the spirit is to, if things aren't working out, then to pray that you actually receive your divine right person. And that is the intent of the universe, your spirit guides, your ancestry line, is that you are with your divine right person. And that is not something that is forced. That is something that should bring you joy. And that is what, set your intentions on that, having a life of ease, peace, and joy right now, because that is what spirit wants to bring you. So that's what it should be. Not to say that you won't have things happen, but overall, the overarching part of this relationship, or what this is about, is that. Now, for some of you, you may have signed up to come here for challenges. And if that is you, then, you pick up whatever power resonates with you, and spirit will share with you what this message is for you. I felt very nervous about doing this, and I think this is because it's so important. This is a very important reading for some people in the collective. So, all right, let's get started. Pile number 1. All right, so pile number 1, you have chosen wisdom, and like a loving parent, the white pine holds you in her embrace. I'm just going to read from this card. So that you feel safe, grounded, and still, and able to find the space for quiet reflection. She helps you to tap into the ancient wisdom stored in your heart and to release your worries so that they can be absorbed by the earth. So some of you have some concerns about your love life in the coming year, or your personal relationship, your intimate personal relationship. And if there is not one, that could be the situation as well. Hang on one second here. Let me get my camera adjusted. All right, so let's begin. So in the next 3 months, we are looking for the thorn. Protection, boundaries, clear communication. In the next 6 months, there will be whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, winter, and channel. In the next 9 months, it's trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. And finally, in the last 3 months, it would be the rose thread, which is the inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. So 3, 6, 9, and 12 months. All right. So for those of you who have chosen pile 1, let's see what. This is a very interesting pile, because with your having the protection and boundaries, clear communication, and there needing to be some wisdom there. This is crazy. Hang on, let me plug it. All right, so my camera battery is low, so great. All right. I knew that there's you guys have some all right. So hopefully that that helps to fix that. And you guys really have some anxiety. I was feeling some anxiety when I was when I was actually doing this whole reading or setting this up. And sometimes whenever I'm channeling energy from the divine, then there's always something there that will that will come in, and I just feel certain things. But right now I just basically feel a lot of anxiety, and so this is talked about in your current relationship. And the reason why wisdom probably came out for you is right now in your relationship, there needs to be some clear communication and boundaries. Basically, most, I guess, we're not often taught, especially as if we are people pleasers. I'm kind of feeling that here for you, because you wanted to make sure you're the person, just so that if this resonates with you, this is your pile. You are someone who is a people pleaser. So it's like you want to make sure that even though you don't want to admit that, you would be like, that's not me. I just try to make sure everybody's okay, but I don't people please. If that's kind of what you just said to yourself, then this is definitely your pile, because we don't often get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationships. So when we're not clear on our needs, when you don't communicate them, when you don't take responsibility for your own needs, it's impossible for others to give you what you need. And this often results in a breakdown in the relationship. So communicating your needs and establishing your boundaries will allow you to feel safe. And it will allow others to feel safe too. So there's a message for you to have clear communication in the coming months. But first you need to be clear with yourself, and then communicate this to your loved ones and everyone else. So the question that you're being asked is, what loving boundaries are you being called to establish? You've been letting everything happen to you, and not necessarily saying for you, but it's like there are things that you want, but you're not vocalizing it. And so now I see the wisdom from the divine to give you this white pine wisdom card, because that definitely speaks to what's your current situation is now and what's going to be happening, or what you need to start analyzing for yourself in the next 3 months is, what is it that you really want, and be okay saying no to the things that you don't want. And that actually helps to empower you. And I feel like the sense of empowerment coming through, like I feel strong and strength, and I'm getting goosebumps. Like, this is really your thing to do, is to be okay saying, no, I don't like that. And not feeling like you're going to lose the person that you're with, because if they are your divine right person, then they will stay. If they are not, then they will leave. And that is what Spirit is saying. And the right flower will be planted in your garden of life. It's like, it's okay if this isn't the right person, but I'm really feeling like this might be an okay situation for you. But you are not really showing who you really are. You're just going with the flow, thinking that, okay, well, if I don't want to be by myself, so I'm just gonna, deep down, you don't want to be by yourself. So you're just going with the flow. And that's really not what the divine has for you. They want you to be happy being exactly who you are. So let's see. in the next like 6 months or so, you have the whispers of Mother Earth. And what's going to be coming up next for you is there are creations seated within you, planted before your birth. There are unborn possibilities yearning to be woven and creative solutions waiting to be realized. So you have to surrender to what's being created in you. So if that person is going to fall away, if the person you're with now, once you set your boundaries, once you start being clear truly about what you want, then that is when your life will change and you can begin to trust the seeds that have been planted within you. Somewhere along the way, you stop seeing yourself as who you really are, whether you're an artist, whether you're a writer, whether you just came here to show love to others. There are seeds that are planted within you and they will show you the way. So just trust that. Trust the seasons. Wow. So in 6 months from now, once you transition from and get your boundaries under you, and this comes through prayer and work. So if you really are trying to work on this for yourself, these are communications that you need to have with the divine within to really guide you on your journey with this. So the question that you need to write in your journal is in 6 months, ask yourself, wow. So once again, you guys have big energy. When people have big energy, when the collective pile has huge energy, then I always feel some type of like my camera will stop, which it just did. It just stopped right in the middle, or I'll have things going on with my electronics. But this specific, the rose thread is, it's a card of someone who is in touch with the depths of your inner world and in the inner weavings of the world and beyond, way beyond. And you are dedicated to listening to the voice and the divine whispering within, and you follow your intuition and live in accordance with that. So, wow. Okay. So that is why the nervousness is there. You are someone who listens to the divine and you have wisdom. You are just really trying to see if the people around you will be okay with who you really, really are. And is there confusion there? That's my question to you from the divine. Is there some confusion there in your serving others and thinking that you need to push your own needs aside in your relationships? And that is not what the divine wants you to do. The divine really wants you to protect your boundaries and have clear communication with everyone around you so that your cup can stay full. Following this rose thread means being dedicated to walking the way of the rose, which means to be in service to humanity and dedicated to writing a new story. Wow, that is why Spirit is encouraging me to share with you that you need to journal this. This is going to be very, very important for others. This is almost like a blueprint for others to follow. So, gosh, it's an invisible path that you follow, and you can see here on this card. It's like a path to an awakening. And so this is a big journey for you. I don't know. There's a lot of connections going on in the right now. And they're love connections, and people are talking about love connections all the time, but yours is a journey that you need to chapter or write. Like you need to capture. I'm sorry, I said chapter. Capture is what I heard in my head. It's just a lot of energy coming forward. And this card is being presented to you because you're being called to follow your path, led by your deep yearning or intuition from the divine. So you're being called to have the faith and gather up the courage to take the next step. There's going to be a huge step coming for you at the end of this 12 months. It's a sign of encouragement to keep taking the next step. It's acknowledging the courage it takes to live a soul-led life and honoring you for always taking the leap. Wow, this is a journey. Quite a journey is going to be coming for you in the next year concerning your personal relationship. You're going to have to take a big step and have the courage to do it, and just know that you were meant to do this because there are people watching you. You may have children that are watching you, and it may not be your children. I feel like we are ageless in the ether. And so it could be a situation where there are, like, you could have your ancestors cheering you on, hoping that you would break some type of a cycle. A lot of you are just really fulfilling the dreams of people who feel like you're going to probably do this differently. And so I'm really cheering for you. I'm rooting for you, Pal One, because it took a lot of nerve. Like, I felt nervous even doing this. And, I can share some additional details in our membership group. For today, we're going to have for Pal One. Definitely, you can find the link in my description box if you want a more specific reading about what this might be for you. Okay. All right. Thank you, Pal One. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Hi, Pal number 2. Okay, so we are doing a reboot for you guys because the whole reading just went out. So I just did a reshuffle, and we are going to do something else. So this is a love reading, whether it's a love reading for yourself, or with your divine other. The intention for this reading is about joy. And it says, Rose is comforting and soothing, infusing your heart and soul with gratitude and joy, helping you to stay centered and loving towards yourself and others when it is needed most. Rose reminds you to be open to the sweetness of life and supports your personal growth, whatever the conditions surrounding you may be. So that is the intention of the reading today. So let's see what your 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, and then 9 to 12 months. So kind of what's going to be happening at the end of this. I'm going to call it this year or seasons, the 4 seasons of love for you. All right. So let's see what's going to happen in the beginning. We're going to have the reunion. Okay. So this says soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendship. Next is the wild rose, do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. Our next one is a rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy. Wow, there's joy. Okay. Peace, sweetness of love. And then finally, what's wrapping us up is the Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. All right, so that's what's going to wrap up your year or seasons, your 4 seasons of love. And I have encouraged everyone to get a love journal for themselves, because it's going to be really, really helpful for you as you go along on this year journey. And I do actually have some journal sheets in our membership group. And so I will definitely send you a link to that if you want it. If you type in membership or journal, I can get you, if you click on that, I'll get you whatever you need, the information on that. So, okay, let's get started with your 3, 6, 9, and 12 month love reading, pile number 2. So for you, Spirit is encouraging you to continue on your journey with gratitude and joy. And you are a very centered and loving person towards yourself and others when it is needed most for them. So you are open to the sweetness of life, and you support it supports your personal growth. And whatever is going on around you, you are somebody that can bloom where you're planted. So that is what Spirit wants you to know. And concerning your partner, you and your divine partner, the reunion card has come up. Soul recognition in the next 3 months or from now, and this could be your situation now. If not, then it is your situation in the coming 3 months. So soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, and friendship. It says this current period in history has been spoken of by mystics through the ages, and you chose to incarnate right in the middle of it. You didn't do so alone. You came with a group of souls, and we all came here in waves with joint missions. You were never meant to walk this life alone. It's time to come back together, to remember that you are not in competition. Rather, you hold keys for each other, you and your divine partner. This is the way. These are rose oracles, so you're going to hear the word rose a lot, but this is the way of the rose. Its goal is to bloom bravely regardless of what others are doing, and not be threatened when others do this alongside you. So you and your partner are on a mission. You guys are probably both on a spiritual journey. And I guess the key here is to know that you guys incarnated here at the same time for a specific purpose. Because just like the rose, it doesn't just open and close based on who's walking by. The beauty of a rose is to shine without waver, and you are here to do that too. There are people who at a soul level chose to walk alongside you. Your partner definitely chose to walk alongside you. Now, for those who have not found your right partner yet, or your divine right partner, for them to find you, you must first let them see you. So reveal yourself, your true self, to the world. Open your heart and mind to collaboration rather than competition. And that goes for you if you are in a relationship. It's really not about competition. Even if you are your divine right person right now, it's just a soulmate that's come in, and that could be platonic or someone who's in a loving situation with you. just reveal your true self to the world. Don't be afraid to bloom where you're planted. You definitely are someone who is doing that. So I feel like for the first 3 months, it's almost like you're just acknowledging that your divine right person is blooming right beside you, and that all is well is what I'm feeling. And that is what Spirit is sharing with me, is that all is well. This card could come with a message of partnerships, friendships, and confirmation that your divine, if they have not already, will be entering your life. Or it could be a sign that you've been called to co-create on a project with someone you already know. And you can decide to bloom together. So it's just that time. Like, this is a time of, if you have not, like I said, met your divine right other, they are on the way in the next 3 months. Or if you are in a relationship, there could be a partnership coming for you. But I definitely feel like in order for you to bloom, so we'll talk about that in terms of what Spirit is asking you to do. So in your journal prompts for the first 3 months, you want to write down, I release any old programming of competition. I open myself up to relationships and collaborations. It is safe for me to trust and co-create. It is safe for me to speak clearly. It is safe for me to set clear boundaries and collaborate. If you've seen any of my other readings, a couple of them have been talking about setting clear boundaries. And when you're setting clear boundaries, what that means is that you are okay telling people no when you don't feel like doing something, and not feeling guilty about it. Because what Spirit wants you to do is just stand in your truth and just know that whoever God is sending to you, it's going to be the right person, and you will recognize them. Your hearts will join together. And if you are already in a relationship, then your hearts will definitely be joined together there. So just wanted to give you that. Let's talk about what's going to happen from there, from 3 months to your 6 months. That season you're going into, I call the season of the wild rose. And so when you're going into your season of the wild rose, that's what you can write at the top of, I guess, your page. I'm just trying to give you some idea of what season you're going to be in. So when you see this this journal, that it's a digital journal that people in the membership group can actually just print out. It's free for you guys. So do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness untamed. So if someone says that you're not normal, say thank you. If someone says that what you're doing isn't normal, say naturally. So the wild rose knows that no one rose is the same as the other. She doesn't try to bloom in a neat row according to a schedule. She doesn't open and close according to who walks by. Again, that's the exact same thing about the reunion. Is that this is your time to bloom, and bloom unwaveringly with your divine right other. That is what Spirit is sharing with me. Your timing and everything that you're doing right now is to not care what people think about who you chose as your partner. Because I'm feeling like sometimes people in your family may feel like, well, they may, like, say, for instance, if your parents wanted you to be with somebody who had a lot of wealth, but you may know something deep down that, maybe that's not the person I'm supposed to be with. And you feel a connection with someone else. It is your role in this lifetime. Spirit is saying to stand together with who your divine right person is. And you'll know it because it will make you feel light and free. And like a scent of a rose is what I'm smelling. That is what Spirit is putting in front of my nose. It's like a scent of a rose. And you will know because it will be sweet to you. This will be a beautiful relationship. So this has come because in 6 months, during this season for you, the wild rose season, this is an invitation to do what would make you feel most free, to trust in the very thing that makes you stand out, to realize that you were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to grow in a perfect, cultivated way. You were never meant to bloom in unison with someone else. Remember, this may be someone who has incarnated before you. They may be a little bit older. They may be slightly younger, which is why there is a feeling of, why your family or whomever may or may not approve of this, but you were never meant to be captive or controlled. So it is imperative for you at this time to just allow whatever appears to you in terms of whatever happens in terms of this relationship, even if it's just whatever happens in terms of this relationship, just let it flow is what I'm hearing. Express what you came here to express. Sing the song that you came here on this planet to sing. Together, the wild ones will be the ones who set us all free. So I think you're doing this, or you're being who you really want to be and who you really want to be with, is really going to help set some other people free. That's what I'm hearing. And so one of the mantras you can say for yourself during this time or during the season is, I free myself of what keeps me captive. I allow the unique wildness within me to be free. So that is what's going to be happening in that season for you from 3 to 6 months out. All right, so let's journey on with 6 to 9 months. Okay, so pile number 2, the rose without thorns has come with you, and you have a right to your joy, peace, and sweetness of life. You're such a beautiful person. That is what I'm feeling. Spirit is sharing with me is that you are such a beautiful soul. You bring joy to so many people, and it hurt you a little bit when people didn't approve of your divine right person. But if that person is bringing you love and there's no toxicity, and what I mean by that is, like, as long as it's not a relationship with violence or something like that, that's not, where people are like, hey, that's not your divine right person. You weren't sent here to fix people. That is the key, is that you're not sent here to fix people. We are sent here to fix or be our own best selves, and then we attract who has incarnated and to be here with us at that time. So the key is healing and fixing yourself, and your divine right person shows up. I'm not saying that that is you, because obviously you are someone who really embodies joy. And that is what Spirit is saying, that you are someone who is comforting and soothing to others. And I think you were a little hurt that people may or may not have embraced who you chose. But Spirit is saying that, do you. That's what Spirit is saying. Do you. And to be the rose without thorns means you have a right to your joy, peace, and sweetness of life, because most roses have thorns that protect the plant. When you walk past, it's so easy to get caught on their spiky stems, but there are a small number of roses that are unlike most, possessing few or no thorns, and that's what this card is about. You are the rose without thorns, because this is an invitation to dive right into the sweetness of your life, to rest in the softness, to enjoy the delicious fragrance, to rest in and relish what it means to be currently alive in this body, to embrace all the beauty and bliss that life has to offer. Once again, the wild rose and the rose without thorns. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness. And you are unique because you are a rose without thorns. You have the sweet smell. You're a beautiful person, and you deserve all the love that you are receiving right now. I just feel so much happiness for you. And you have a right to it. You have a right to take every ounce of all your joy in right now, to celebrate and lose yourself in the sweetness of life. This is a rare moment in time of deep peace and enjoyment. You're being called to taste all that life has to offer. Drink it all in. You deserve every drop. I just said that. God told me to tell you, you deserve it. You've worked for this moment. You've done all your shadow work. This is just an aside, but you've done all your shadow work. Embrace it now with open arms. It is safe for you to enjoy this, to welcome this, to embody all of this. And while life is ever changing and forever inviting us to grow, right now in that 9-month season, your lesson is to be in the delight of it all and just to enjoy your time in love. So some of the mantras for you in your 9 months is, I have a right to my joy. That is an affirmation. I have a right to my joy. I appreciate and drink in the sweet nectar of my life. I appreciate and drink in the sweet nectar of my life. So that is what Spirit wants you to know about the 9 months. I call that the birthing stage of your year. So by then you have really just rested in and settled in with your love. I can see you guys being excited about that. All right. So finally, you will end this year of love with ancient power, expression, activation, and scarlet codes. Let's see what that's going to be like. So I wonder if you are meeting this person, or you are joining with them because there is a mission for you guys. You know, sometimes when you incarnate and you meet the love of your life, typically, especially with all of the people who I typically read for, you guys are like the strong people sometimes in your family, and you take care of everybody. So this is interesting in terms of you guys coming together, what this means. So let's see. At the end of this 12 months, you will have I guess this is talking about feminine power, expression, and wisdom, that it has been suppressed. So we all have the yin and yang in our life. We have divine masculine and divine feminine in all of us. So as a result, your feminine has been silenced, dismissed, and disrespected. This is a universal truth. This is not talking about you specifically. This is just saying that as a collective, we've become disconnected from the earth, the mother, and have stopped revering our elders. But times are finally changing, and we're all a part of this change. So this is saying that every time you honor your body, express your wisdom, share your voice, and connect with your sensuality, you heal the sacred thread of the feminine. So here's the thing. You have been put together to really heal the sacred thread of the feminine. And every time you come together, you will heal the sacred thread of the feminine. Every time you honor the cyclical nature of life, you heal that thread. Regardless of what gender you identify with, this card is basically calling you back to your power. So this is going to be a joining, so that this is going to be something beautiful for those around you to witness. It's a remembrance. When the two of you are together, it's divine is asking you to express your truth, no matter what it is. No matter what your truth is, this is your time of sharing your soul's voice and singing the song that you came here to sing. Wow, that was in another card on here is the art. It was talking about do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, sing the song you came here to sing. This has come out again. Sing the song that you came here to sing. This is a card of activation. It is a call to action, and it is a remembrance. Remember that you're the child of the divine. And as you express yourself, you express for all who could not. So this healing is for people in your bloodline. This connection and this joining and this union with your divine right person is it is something that's going to be taking the shackles off of all the people in your bloodline and in your soul group who could not. Each shackle you break through, you free those who are yet to come. Share your voice, sing your song, dance your dance, reclaim your power. This is what you came here for. So the soul's inquiry for you is, how are you being called to call back your power, express your truth, and honor the cyclical nature within? Really, this is your healing, your coming together. I know this sounds a lot like the twin flame journey, but I don't know. To me, it seems like the twin flame journey is just so, they talk about like a separation, and they talk about like there's so much in there that I don't really believe that this is what this is. I just don't want to give it a name, because it is what it is what I'm hearing. This is what it is. It's not that. It is just and maybe it could be for some of you, but what I feel like this is just your divine right person coming into union with you. And I know for some people, they're like, oh, that's twin flame. But okay, well, if that's what you want to call it. But for others of you who have chosen this pile, it is just this union that you have, or this love that you have, is here to show and to heal for others of you in your life and in your who are going to be coming behind you, to show how to love freely, how to have boundaries and still love freely. So pile number 2, this is a beautiful reading, and I'm so excited for you. I could feel the love as I was channeling. I could really feel the love here. So thank you so much for allowing me to spend this time with you. And I have wish you all the best, and be blessed. Hello, pile number 3. Let's get started with your reading. You have chosen the daffodil with perception. These magnificent heralds of spring are literally trumpeting the joy and freedom of learning to be yourself. Interesting. Daffodil wants you to see the light, to perceive the beauty and perfection and wholeness that is you, just as you are. It is time to release any self-doubt and revel in the freedom and weightlessness of endless possibilities. So if you want to screenshot that for yourself, I have actually been talking with Pal 1 and Pal 2 about keeping a love journal. That's what this is actually, Spirit is asking me to ask them, so I'm going to share that with you as well, is to keep a journal and write down, your 0 to 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and what's going to happen at the end of the year, just so that you can be, let me turn these so you can see them. So just so that you can be aware of what's going to happen, and, see if there are in any ways that you want to make adjustments, or make something happen differently for yourself in the coming year. So let's get started with your reading. So basically in the next couple of months, next 3 months, you have Release the Petals, Transformation, Death and Rebirth, Shedding All Change. So there's going to be a rebirth coming in the next couple of months. The Wastelands, Sustainability, Slow Down, Tend to Your Garden. We also have the Rose Garden, Innocence, Forgiveness, Be Gentle with Yourself. And finally, we have Trust the Seasons, Embracing Change, Cycles of Life, Transition, and Growth. So you may have seen this card come in a different pile. I always shuffle all of my cards back in, just because I feel like I want to make sure that whatever Spirit wants to reveal is revealed with all the cards, especially if I'm just using one deck for a reading for a collective. So this is always going to be something different for you, though. So, and the rest of these did not show up in the other ones. So let's just see. This is awesome. Pile number 3, let's just see what's going on with you and your love life, even if the love is between you and your divine self. I often make sure that I want to stress that as well. So this is the whole thing, is loving your wholeness that is you, just as you are. Release any self-doubt and revel in the freedom and weightlessness of endless possibilities. That's funny that it says release that, and then you have Release the Petals. All of you guys have some transformation. Every time I start reading this, I feel like for this pile, I feel like a shortness of breath, almost like it's like you are so anxious and worried about something. So let's just see what's going on here. Pile number 3, there comes a point when you can't go back. For you, with this divine, I think for some of you, there is a partnership of some sort. I know this is a love reading, but I feel like with this is really dealing with you and this whole release of your trying to just the self-doubt that you need to release. In a seemingly fleeting moment, the road that led you here is suddenly impossible to access. Um, so there is a sinking knowing that things will never be the same. A death, a loss, a growth, an ending, a discovery. No matter how hard you try, things are different right now in your relationship. You are different now. So what's been seen can't be unseen. There's no going back. Something new is, or basically the divine is asking you to acknowledge that there is a new gut feeling or intuition or intention beckoning you to move forward. So the next 3 months, it may even be right now, especially with the initial card having perception with the daffodil, is that this is some change and transformation coming for you in the next 3 months. You would have to have some courage that's going to be required for this rebirth of yours to happen. So you are going to have to surrender to what was, and one day be transformed. So you're releasing any self-doubt and revel in the freedom and weightlessness of endless possibilities, is what I'm hearing. It's time to surrender so that your transformation can happen. So when you are able to do that, you will be greeted by the fruits of the future. There's something going on here that you're asking to release. So in your journal, a prompt for you, a question from the divine is, what are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? Again, what are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? You're feeling like, if I don't let this leave me, then I won't be alone. But that is actually not true. That is probably why I felt the shortness of breath. It's really more so about your anxiety, your self-doubt about your abilities to be by yourself or what's going to happen for you. For some of you, it may be that way. For others, it just may be a situation where you may feel like, if this is because I said for some of you on this, I felt like it was a business opportunity or a business partner. You have to be able to know that, to release the self-doubt. That is what I'm hearing for you, pile number 3. So in terms of what's going to happen in the next 6 months, and what I'm encouraging everyone to do is to get a journal, have a specific journal about your year when it as it relates to this. And you can add other readings in there, but I really felt like, in terms of for the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, have at the front some idea of what we're saying here, and then journal and see where or how things have changed for you in the coming months. That would be really great, so that you could really keep track of what divine is trying to share with you and how all of this is coming into play. So in terms of the next 6 months, this wastelands is one of the most powerful cards to receive. And everybody on here, I just feel like the people who I've been channeling for with this reading are just extremely powerful beings. Whether your power is quiet or whether it is strong, you are someone who, it's almost like this is a reading for the leaders. It's kind of like that. This is a wake-up call for you, because this card is called the Wastelands, but it's a wake-up call. So in the next 6 months, there's going to be, this is a wake-up call now for you from the divine. So there has been, it's a call for you to stop your destructive behavior that's resulting in you becoming brittle and unable to live in a sustainable way. The sacred feminine is abundant. She knows the earth, and she knows that it can provide for what you need, and that the earth doesn't need to take more than she needs. She tends the earth around her and within her, and she's a keeper of balance and the protector of all living things. So with this coming out, it's just delivering an urgent message to you to slow down and stop any way of being that's not sustainable. To release, there's the word again, release anything that's making you brittle. Tend to your garden, which is you, your body, and the earth around you. So this is really about you. There's been some destructive behavior in the whole, you might want to look at, I can't remember which pile it is, that's talking about the self-sabotage. I think it's pile number 1. And it's time for you to see the light, to perceive the beauty and perfection and wholeness that is you, just as you are. Pile number 1, and this is funny that this came back out again. So pile number 1 and pile number 3 may be, these two for you may be related, because there has been some pretending for some of you in the relationship. And listen, I'm just a messenger. If this does not resonate with you and you're like, it's not me, I'm not pretending, then this may not be your pile. But for those of you who it kind of maybe hit a little bit of a gut punch for you, yes, this is your pile. The question for you for 6 months is, what way of being is no longer sustainable for you? So that is the question you need to write and answer, be able to answer perhaps in the next 6 months, is what way of being is no longer sustainable for you? That is very interesting. That the one thing about pile number 1 is that they were afraid to be themselves. And this is dealing with self-doubt and being able to just be who you are. Gosh, this is amazing that all of this relates. So with the rose garden, in the next from 6 to 9 months, we're looking at innocence, forgiveness. I got a call. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so I am back. And by the time you hit the 6 to 9 month time frame, you at this point are in a state of forgiveness, being gentle with yourself, and Spirit is reminding me to tell you that you are holy and whole. You are innocent and innately good, because there's been a lot of, I guess, things you had to clean out about yourself from months 3 through 6. But just know that anytime there is a cleaning out for anyone, there's always something that you need to know, and that is to not beat yourself up, because you're just on a journey. There's no good or bad about yourself. You are holy and welcome into your life. You never got kicked out of your flower garden if you are considering yourself a part of the collective. If we're considering ourselves as a rose in the garden, just know that none of us did. This card delivers a message of welcomeness, of returning to your innocence. If you feel as if you've done something wrong without knowing what you've done, if you feel ashamed about hurting someone, if you're finding it hard to forgive yourself, Wow, all of this coincides because there have been some things that you have been asked to release. Maybe you weren't kind to people. I'm just guessing you know for yourself what that behavior was that you were asked to release, because why this wasteland showed up. But you're asked to release. Spirit is saying release any shame, judgment, or bad feelings. To do what you need to do to let go and make amends. To remember that you're a human, meaning you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And as a human, you're here to learn and grow. And so is everyone else. That's the thing. You are not broken. You never were. You are a work in progress. We all are. So what's happening is that you're learning and unlearning. And just be gentle with yourself while you are learning and unlearning, and be gentle with others. Return to your humanity. That's why I kind of feel like this is a business relationship, because there has been a work relationship. This isn't just like a love. It could be for some of you a love relationship, but I'm feeling like for the collective, this is like more of a platonic or a work relationship, or you are some kind of a manager, because there's been some big boss energy, as they call it, through all of these piles. And so I feel like that's who you're some kind of a manager. Maybe you don't necessarily treat your people right. And right or wrong, I mean by like harshly, maybe there has been some of that in the past, or impatience with your children. Whatever it is, Spirit is, whatever this is for you, if this is your pile, Spirit is saying to you that you are not broken and you never were. You're just a work in progress, and everyone else is as well. So just return to your humanity, reconnect with the divine, and remember that you were never perfect. And being in this experience, this human experience, isn't about perfection in the first place. So your goal is to grow and learn, but do it softly. You have goodness in you. Remember that and cherish that in others too. So what you focus on, I'm thinking about like what you focus on expands. So for you, as you are focusing on the goodness in yourself, you will then see the goodness in others, because others are a mirror. I have heard others are a mirror into how we see ourselves. So that can be a key for you, and just know that you are always doing the best you can. And when you learn, you can choose to do something new. Commit to learning and doing better each and every day. This is what it means to be a human, or a spirit having a human experience. To embrace your humanness, you must do so without denying your shadow side. And it's through facing the shadow without defense, without defending yourself. And, oh, I didn't mean, I was just, I just embrace it so that you can learn and grow. Embrace your humanity, and you'll find it easier to embrace others and the whole world. So your question in 9 months is, how can you be more gentle with yourself? Because being gentle with yourself is going to be, it's really going to be key. And it's so funny how this trust your season, or trust the seasons card has come up as what's going to happen in terms of your 360 degrees. I see that it's almost like a circle there. It's almost like you're coming back into yourself in a full circle moment. That's kind of what I see. Embrace change, the cycles of life. A cycle is a circle, transition and growth. So you are really going to have some transitions and growth in the final years. So I definitely encourage all of you to keep a journal. And if you are looking for a specific journal, I actually will have some available to you guys as well, so that way you can actually have your journal available. So let me, if you guys put down there, I'll send you a link to a special journal. If you just say journal, or if you want to be a part of the group, you can just say membership. I don't know, normally I don't actually share all of these, but Spirit has just really been on me lately, or today, not lately, right now, about sharing that, because if that is something that you want, then definitely we will make that readily available for you guys. It's a very special journal for you to be able to share your thoughts from the divine. Okay. And so trusting the seasons, your disconnection from the earth and her season is what has, it'll lead you to believe that you should be in full bloom all year round. That is just like this perception. You are going to, the goal for you is to have the joy and freedom of learning to just be yourself. See the light and see the beauty and perfection and wholeness that is just you. This is what this, it's so funny that all the cards come out and that's exactly what it's talking about. This is amazing. So you feel like at this point in time, this card is here to share with you that you don't have to feel like everything has to be good all the time. And I feel like that the divine is sharing with me that is why you feel like you are, there's some shame and blame and all this reaction is because you think that everything is supposed to be perfect. And that is far from the truth. Has to be some grace shown there to yourself and others. Nobody is meant to stay the same, and relationships aren't meant to stay the same. And nothing is meant to stay the same. For you, though, you're trying to control things and keep it in a bubble. And even though things may get out of your bubble, you just have to surrender and learn how to be in the in-between. I don't know if you've ever seen the show with the kids. Gosh, it's escaped me now, but it's 7 or 11. Her name was 11, and she was in the in-between. That's not the in-between that I'm talking about. Her in-between was scary, but with this, it's just your in-between is just surrendering to, just allowing yourself to let go and let God, in a sense, because that is scary. It requires a lot of trust in the transformation and in the death in order for the rebirth to occur. So you have to have a very deep reverence for all the seasons of your life. The more you're going to resist this, the further away you are going to be from who you are becoming. So embrace your change, embrace life and everyone around you, and who everyone is becoming. So your question at the end of this year that you are hopefully able to answer is, how can you embrace the changing seasons of your life? So I'm looking forward to knowing what that is going to be for you. And I definitely would love to be able to, to really see that. So if you want to share with me, like I said, if you do want access to that journal, then I will definitely send that to you guys. I will definitely send you the link to that as well. And if you are going to I will have both of those. Sorry, hang on one second here. All right, everyone. I do have, I will have the link there for everyone to get in on the first set of journals. They're very special journals, and they will be limited. There's a limited quantity of these journals, and so once they go, they go. And so we are doing pre-orders for them, and so I will put that link in the description box for you, so that you can go ahead and get the first set of those journals sent out to you guys. So all right, I think that's it for me for pile number 3. I wish you all the best on your journey, and just remember that the goal here is for you in this iteration, and for this year, when it comes to whoever you have this divine connection to, is to release any self-doubt and revel in the freedom and weightlessness of endless possibilities. You are much greater and much more loved than you even realize. All right, peace and blessings to you, and have a wonderful day. Hi, pile number 4. Today we have a reading about what the divine wants you to know about your relationship with your divine counterpart. Love relationship. I always say that the first person that you should love is yourself, and then you can attract the person that you want, the best out of everybody around you, because then you're looking at the best in yourself, and how you see yourself is how you see the world. That's just through all of my own journey. That is one thing that I can share with you, that I have learned for myself. So okay, so let's look at so we're going to look at the first. This is 3 months, which is the child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, and tenderness. And to set the stage for this reading, you chose the Echinacea card, and which is Echinacea stimulates and awakens your consciousness, helping break up and release outdated personal stories, emotions, and attachments that are holding you back from positive growth, self-realization, and awakening awareness of your true self when you have forgotten or lost the connection. So definitely, especially with the clear quartz being there, is just to be able to clear that energy out, or excuse me, to clear that energy up for you, and to provide purification and harmonizing energy. So harmonizing again, or back with yourself, your true self. And that's funny that the child within is the first card to come out. So reconnecting with yourself, your inner mother, and your inner innocence. In 6 months, what I see is the Sub Rosa, which is hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. That's interesting. Okay. 9 months, the baby phase. So no, the birthing phase, I guess, is whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, inspiration, artist, writer, and channel. I think this came up in another one, but we'll see. And finally, the fertile void, Inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. Ooh. I've done a ton of readings. I've never seen this card come out. This is you have a very interesting you are a very interesting person. Pile number 4. Let's begin your reading. Hi, pile number 4. So let's begin with your 0 to 3 months. I've been encouraging, like I said, all the other piles to journal about this journey. And so we're going to get into what some questions are that you can write in your journal. The first thing is to ask, how can you tenderly tend to the child within? So to be able to do what the divine has, what you've chosen, your higher self has chosen this card because you are helping to break up and release outdated personal stories, emotions, and attachments that are holding you back from positive growth and self-realization. So one of the things that you can do is to really go back and nurture the child within, because we can be so hard on ourselves, especially when we expect that we are going to heal according to some type of a schedule, and beating yourself up when you make a mistake. Those are the kinds of hard things that Spirit wants you to release. To remember that no matter what has happened, is happening, or will happen, you are still that innocent child of the stars and of the earth. And that flowers are here to remind you of that, that you are to nurture the child within. I think about a child running through a just like a field of wildflowers. This card is here to remind you to have gentleness and compassion with yourself. It's reminding you to treat yourself like the innocent child that you are, and to take your inner child and let them rest deeply in the soft petals of your heart. So because we all have an inner child who at some point, I guess I should say with you at some point, with pile number 4, your child went into exile because they were hurt, or because the world didn't feel safe for them. And no matter how much you've grown as an adult, when you're hurt or triggered, it's normal to regress to this age and feel overwhelmed by the original emotion. And so it's like you keep reliving that cycle, and that's why you feel triggered a lot. So perhaps this person in your life triggers you, or they are a trigger to remind you to release outdated personal stories, emotions, and attachments. And just remember that it's normal to regress to this age, but while you can't change your past, what you can do is scoop up the child within you and place them in the soft petals of the rose in your own heart. This is the Rose Oracle deck, so it talks a lot about roses. And so this is encouraging you to really embrace your inner child, and whatever didn't feel safe then, just know that as an adult you are safe now, and you can free, that's the outdated personal stories, emotions, and attachments, because you often relate to that, is what Spirit is telling me, is that is what you go back to. So you're being challenged to release those old childhood stories. Write a new story in your journal. It's not you can even, it's not a lie to rewrite your childhood. What it does is it really shows you, you can even say, it shows you what you can have and what you wanted and how you wanted your relationship to be, you can rewrite that story and live from that love. What I mean by that is you can say, you know what, my childhood was so traumatic, honey. I had to rewrite my whole story. And once you state that truth, I had to rewrite my whole life, my childhood story, because you are adult enough now to nurture that child within. So you're like, you know what? I had to nurture myself. You had to grow up to nurture yourself. And that's okay, because how would you treat yourself as a child? How would you treat your childhood self is what I'm feeling. So for the first, or from now and for the next 3 months, let's journal and recreate the beautiful life that you would want to create for yourself as an adult, for the child within you. And that is the challenge that I am hearing, because the person that you are with either keeps you perpetually in that, or they're challenging you to break out of that. But either way, it is time for you now to break away from the past stories. And if somebody brings that up to you, then you can say, you know, that was at a time when I couldn't, you know, that's actually going into I would tell, if somebody tries to bring up something from your past, you know, you can just say, thank God I'm healed from that. Thank God I'm healed from that. And I forgive everybody who may or may not have allowed me to have the childhood that I wanted. But you know, life goes on. And that's a beautiful thing that you can say if you're looking for something to say to someone who may be a trigger for you. Hopefully that helps in some way for those of you who may need that. In the next, from 3 months to 6 months from now, you will be in the sub rosa season. And when you're in the, what I'm calling the sub rosa season, because this is actually like, I guess these are each quarter. So not the quarter of an actual calendar year, but your quarter of your year of love, your year of really loving yourself. That's what this really is about, is you loving yourself, so that when you begin to love yourself so much, everybody in the world for you actually is just your mirror. So how you feel about yourself is what they present to you. So if this is a trigger for you, then it's just there so that you can heal that part or love that part of yourself more, so that as you grow into this beautiful being, you will attract. And it doesn't have to even be a new person. It's like the person that you're with will adjust, because you will begin to see the beautiful parts of them. That's how that works for you if you are not in a toxic relationship. If you're in a toxic relationship, this is not what I'm talking about at all. So for those of you who resonate with this, then yes, this is for you. But in your let's move on to your sub rosa season, and that means that there's going to be some mysterious learning and teaching, and again, you have some secret beginnings. Wow. Mysterious learning and teaching and secret beginnings. This rose has been a symbol of secrecy forever. In ancient Rome, there were rose garlands worn on special occasions and hung above very important meeting places. And any kind of conversations that were taking place under those roses was considered sub rosa, or under the rose. It was understood that things said under the rose would be kept secret and not repeated. So I guess it's like secret negotiations back then took place in it's in a special building. It was called the Temple of Minerva. And this is the Temple of Minerva. It's actually seen on this card. It's behind this, the individual on the card that's in meditation. And it basically, this is connected to Eros and Harpocrates. Harpocrates. The Greek god of silence and secrecy, with a rose to persuade him to remain silent on the affairs of the gods. So anyway, there's just a little back fun story. But for you, why this came up is in about 6 months' time, now that you are starting to heal and shed away and write a new story for yourself, what this question is and what the divine is going to question your soul inquiry is what are you being called to study, learn more about, or unearth? So as you are starting to heal, there will be a time for you in 6 months or so when you will be called to uncover the great mysteries and secrets that are waiting to be found, teachings that your soul might be ready to learn now, and to look beyond what your eyes can see and dig a little deeper, because you are here to uncover, lost wisdom, ancient secrets, and deep mysteries. Are you being called to study the great mysteries, to live the great questions and step into your role as a teacher, guide, or mystic? Are you being called to question things and unearth the truths unknown? You, gosh, I'm telling you, you guys are, amazing. Piles 1 through 4. All of you guys, I feel like, are powerful energy beings, and you have a big purpose. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to be famous to have a big purpose. That's not what I'm referring to. It's like rewriting history. You're rewriting the history of your DNA, like your bloodline. This has just been a theme recently here. It's just like a whole rewriting of your story, and by loving yourself through that, it's almost like it can change. What I read one time was that when you are able to have love in your life, or you are able to rewrite a story, what that does is it rewrites it. It can rewrite it in your DNA. You can Google that or search it and see if that what they were talking about is how positive vibes and healing in your spirit life can help to heal certain parts of your DNA strands, or things that will become a legacy in your DNA. It's so amazing. But for you, this is like some ancient teachings that you will be. It's almost like you need to heal this so that you can move on and be the person that you were meant to be, and be the loved, and have the love, and have everything that you were meant to have. Because this trauma, whatever this is, or this old, it doesn't have to be major trauma, but whatever this is from your childhood or in your life, it has been blocking you from from really being who you are, or who you were destined to be. So this year is going to be a year for you of shedding away in the first quarter, and then really honing into learning learning what it is that you need to learn, so that you can be a teacher, or you are huge in the divine spiritual world is what I see. Like, you have a huge role. And our roles go from lifetime to lifetime. And for some of you who aren't used to hearing that, but typically if you are hearing or if you're at a reading, then you know what it is that I'm talking about. So your journey it's time for you now to step into the new part of your journey. And so with that, in 9 months, which I call the birthing season, I'm just going along. You have the whispers of Mother Earth. So funny, that's in 9 months. Creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, or channel. There are creations seated within you. So here's the connection. So you're going to learn the ancient wisdoms, really start keeping track of things that are around you. I would always encourage you to keep that journal with you. And there are unborn possibilities yearning to be woven and creative solutions waiting to be realized. Songs of the ancient earth humming through you, beckoning to be sung. New consciousness that longs to be written into matter. Surrender, here we go, surrender again, to the creations whispering you forth. Perhaps they're calling you to reweave the web of life. Reweave the web of life. Rewrite the story. Oh my goodness. Whoever this is, you are reweaving the web of life. How amazing is that? And you are going to do this, reweave the web of life in some small way. Your part in this, in some small way, you're going to reweave by your healing and rewriting that story. To stitch the soul in a little more. You came bearing keys for others in your life, and when you begin to share your song or share your new beautiful song, it unlocks something in someone else. So creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. It comes from the divine, and they can't be reproduced. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. So because you have incarnated here on earth, this is a planet of creativity, and some of the things that people have forgotten about is how to create. So instead of consuming, you're being encouraged to grow and trust the seeds that have been planted within you, because you stop seeing yourself as an artist, a creative, a poet, a teacher, a singer. Yet it is human to be creative, and it doesn't matter what the result may be. Just carve out some time to express your soul through creativity. So the divine and everything that's planted in you will show you the way. It will show you the way. So you have intelligence within you, and all you need to do is have some daily action in some way, even if it's just to acknowledge, go sit in art, go, be amongst other creatives. It's, there are going to be ways that the Spirit will show you, and just follow your heart is what I'm hearing from the Spirit, is to follow your heart. So how your year is going to end, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. This is an amazing, you are an amazing person. You've probably been through a lot, but when you incarnated, this was what you needed to be able to do. Sometimes we go through things not for ourselves, and especially if you've gone through something really harsh, where you didn't feel safe, it was just so that you could minister to or be a guide or have empathy for others who may have been through that same thing. And so this is talking about the end of your year, this year, that you will be journaling about. Don't forget about that. This is a very auspicious card, and it holds the potent golden seeds of a new beginning and the aftermath of an end. So this is just really showing what the aftermath, this is going to end a cycle for you, and you're going to begin a new beginning. So it's just funny how these all just, I know people hear me say, oh my God, it's just, it all flows together. But it is a beautiful thing to be able to witness this for you. I am so grateful that the divine is allowing me to share this with you. So you are now in your new beginning. You're called to have patience and enter a state of deep rest, repair, and regeneration and acceptance, to let a part of your life and even who you once were metaphorically die in order to seed, sprout, bud, and bloom again. So this goes right back to writing your new story. You allow that old you to metaphorically die and reseed, just so that you can, your new seed, your new sprout, your new bud, and you can bloom again. There's often a letting go, a grief or mourning involved of a death to self, or what once was. So this is going to be an ending of things for you that were once important. Relationships, jobs, identities, ways of being. This fertile void for you asks that you honor your ending to begin again. So it is a crucial part of growth, and new isn't possible without it. So you can't have your new without the ending of the old. This is why this consciousness card has come out, because there are emotions and attachments that are holding you back from positive growth and self-realization and awakening awareness of your true self. Because you are not your pain, you are not your trauma, your true self is a direct connection with the divine. So you'll see a golden, in this card, you see a golden seed cradled in a dark, fertile womb of the soil. So this is like, you see the roses all around it, but this is a seed that's being sprouted out and into the soil. So it's easy to mistake this phase of growth as one where nothing much is happening. But beneath the surface of the winter soil, things have never been more active. So this is a phase of initiation and renewal and rebirth. So when you're going through this period of inner winter, you will experience this too. So you will metaphorically go underground by coming to a standstill and allowing yourself to recover and rest. You don't realize it, but this is the most important part of your growth. And it takes faith and surrender to do it. Here we hear surrender again. So trust the sureness of the soil. The new is being woven without you having to micromanage every move. So this is going to happen without you having to micromanage your growth. I think this is why this is saying secrecy, because this is why I encourage you to journal, because sometimes people just want somebody to talk to the divine, or talk to your child self in your journal. And that way it's something that people will just start to see the outside. You know how when you plant a seed, you don't see it, and then when it sprouts, and then as it grows, everybody's like, oh my God, it's a beautiful rose. But that is exactly what is going to happen for you. Be cradled by the great mystery. This is a very tender and powerful time for you. So the last question, or the question you need to be able to answer for yourself at the end of this cycle, the end of this rose year is what I'm going to call it for you, pile number 4, is how can you surrender into the great mystery? So just allow yourself I would say allow yourself the ability to just metaphorically let the old go and embrace the new. Embrace your new seeds that are planted. Embrace the new flowers that are going to be coming from you. New love. You have the opportunity, and Spirit is inviting you to have the opportunity to have the old die and the new reemerge. And it all has to do with your consciousness. And the goal, remember, is that you are letting go of what's holding you back from positive growth and self-realization. But you will, by the end of this year, awaken to your true self when you have metaphorically allowed the old person to die and your new connection. So you're going to reconnect in a strong and new way with the divine. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful reading, pile number 4. And I just feel so much love for you, because so many people, what I'm hearing is that your ancestors are praying for you. Even if it's not, it's like you were chosen to do this. It's important for you to be here. You were chosen to do this. So no matter what has been said to you or about you, you have the opportunity now to rewrite your story, and rewrite the story and actually reweave the fabric of life in a small way. So every thread in this cloth is made up of thousands of thread. But if there was one piece of thread that was, that was changed in some way, you would know. It's like this is all of us. Like, I feel like this cloth is all of us woven together, and you have an important role here. So many blessings to you, and I encourage you to, if you would like to share with yourself in terms of writing in your journal, then you have an opportunity to do that. We have an amazing journal at Green Tambourine Tarot that is going to be coming out in 4 weeks or so. It will be a launch, but you guys will actually have access to the pre-sale of it. So we have just a small number of pre-sales that will go, and once they go, they will sell out, and then you'll just have to wait for the standard launch. But this is going to be a journal, or it is a journal for you for a time, such a time as this. So thank you so much, pile number 4, for allowing me to read. I was able to channel you, and now I am returning your energy back. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful and wonderful day, and be blessed.